We are Steve and Jill.
Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. Steve and Jill here.
Hello.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Stephen Jack Butala.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from the Valley of the Sun.
Today's Jack Thursday. I'm going to talk about beating the odds at getting rich. I found a very, very interesting summary of millionaires and billionaires and percentages and what really is going on out there in the world about getting wealthy in this country.
I love it.
Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landinvestors.com online community. It's free. Please don't forget to subscribe on the Land Academy YouTube channel and comment on the shows you like.
Drew wrote, "Hello all, and Stephen Jack Butala. Sorry in advance if I'm missing something. I'm rewatching Land Academy 3.0, and it seems like I'm having trouble determining what Jack says are the percentages of each. I'm not finding what the range is. So what's the range in these categories, and what's the percentage range for the red, yellow, and green for days on market, new list to sold, and parcels on the market?" This is our red, yellow, green test. "Does the Excel file that you made for this lesson auto-populate, or do we have to manually make the adjustments ourselves to determine what is accurate for red, yellow, and green?"
In Land Academy 3, this is a very good question, which is why I put it on Jack Thursday instead of Jill Friday.
What the heck? So none of my stuff's intelligent? Thanks. Thanks very much.
Jill comes at this from a different way.
My question tomorrow is going to be, what colors should I pick for my website background? Thanks a lot.
No, Jill and I just come toward this edit from a different angle. What do we teach in the Land Academy 3.0 program is you need to find a place to send mail. It works everywhere, but why not make it easy on yourself and go through this process I call trolling to see where there's properties that fit your acquisition criteria and all that. And when you find some places that make sense, or you think it makes sense to send mail, test it. And that's what Drew's asking about. This red, green, yellow test that you're asking about, or that you're telling us to use, where on a red, green, yellow test, I look at maybe 5 adjacent zip codes. Maybe let's say, just for example, in West Dallas, which is a hot market. And I pit them against each other and see who's got the best days on market, who's got, there's several statistics in there. How much property's been listed, how much property's been sold in the last month. So you're not shooting blind. You're doing this. So what Drew is asking is, how do I know what is all green and I should send mail there, what's all yellow or what's red where I shouldn't send mail, and which percentages work? And my answer is, and everybody answered in Discord the same way I'm about to answer, it's all relative.
Right.
You can't take a look at Alaska, let's say, and a couple of zip codes outside of Anchorage and apply the same percentages for red, green, yellow that you can in West Dallas. It's apples to oranges. You can apply similar, those types of apples to apples comparisons if they're all in the same market. And so he's asking me, what are the percentages? What makes it green? If it's 35%, 30 days or less days on market, then I send the mail? No, it's not like that. It's all relative. What happens in Alaska is relative to Alaska and maybe specifically Anchorage. And what happens in Dallas is just those 5 zip codes are going to tell you where to send mail in Dallas. And so, oh my God, Jack, can you make this more complicated? This is not an easy button. This is not throw a bunch of stuff at the wall and see what sticks. This is why there's not 7 million people in Land Academy. This is why Jill, right now, enrollment's closed. Jill closed it because she feels like we have enough people and she doesn't want to let any more people in. Our staff is helping everybody. Most people are making a ton of money. And so, this is one of those reasons. This is a real reason I chose this question. And aside from the fact that it's a good question, it takes studying and research and dedication and hard work
and testing.
And it's really, really worth it at the end. It's a great question.
Cool.
Today's Jack Thursday. I'm going to talk about beating the odds at getting rich. This is why you're listening. A company put out recently some statistics about being a millionaire and a couple about being a billionaire, which I thought I'd share with you.
This is actually really cool.
The percentage of people who are millionaires in the country, 1 in 32. It's 3%. It's a lot higher than I thought.
Yeah.
Older than 62, 1 in 7. So that's 12% of the people who are older than 62, 12% of them are millionaires, largely because of their house, the house they live in.
Oh,
The vast majority are because of the house they live in.
makes sense.
Younger than 40, 1 in 55. That's 1.78%. No surprise there. They haven't had time for their house to appreciate. These are my opinions. The statistics are not my opinions. They're real. Education, 1 in 23.
They have high school.
High school education, sorry,
1 in 23 have high school.
4.2%. College degree, 1 in 6, 13%, 13.5. Postgraduate degree, 1 in 3%. That's almost 34% of the people who have a postgraduate degree, meaning a graduate or a PhD, are millionaires.
We need to print this out
staggering.
and tape it on our son's door.
That's staggering.
Yeah. Yeah.
How many millionaires are there and why?
Oh, this is a good one.
8 in 10, which is 80% of all the millionaires, have inherited the money.
We're going to tape this on our kid's door too.
That means they didn't work. That means 2 out of 10 worked for it, like
Yeah.
us, like all of us.
Exactly.
4 in 10 of all millionaires, which is 41%, are currently working. That's all of us too.
We're not stopping.
See the theme here?
Oh,
Say
this is a good one.
9 out of 10 say they are wealthy due to hard work. 95%
Concur.
of the people say that.
I agree.
But just above that, 8 out of 10 inherited the money.
Right.
Somebody's lying. It's not us.
Well, it's a different stat, I think.
The odds of running a successful startup on your own.
Wow.
Not Land Academy, because you have a whole support group and all that. But the odds of starting
In the world of
running a
startups.
startup, 1 in 200. That's half of 1% succeed at a startup.
This is amazing. This is great. I love
I'm not trying to sell you anything
this
here,
is
but
awesome. I like
the
this.
numbers are selling it. Should be selling yourself. Let's go the other way and see what happens if you don't do anything. The chance of reaching the poverty level over a 10-year period for all, these are for all people, 4 in 10. So you have a 44% chance of reaching the poverty level if you don't go to school and don't do anything like what we do. The percentage of people who believe most people can make it if they're willing to work hard, 6 in 10. 60%. Only 60% of the people believe that hard work is the answer to becoming a millionaire. Percentage of people who believe that they will become a millionaire in their lifetime, 3 in 10, 30%.
Yeah,
That's just sad.
I know.
Percentage of people who are billionaires in our country,
With a B.
which it's 1 in 578,000 people.
That's pretty small.
Jill and I used to teach a class, which is a very material part of why we started Land Academy. We were substitute teachers, co-instructors for a master's degree class called entrepreneurship. And it was the last class of getting an MBA that these kids would take. And we would frequently do it because the instructor is a real super good friend of ours. His
And you like to travel.
Yeah, he just asked us, and we teach a class.
It's fun.
And honestly, that's why we started. One of the reasons we started Land, because I loved it.
Yeah.
And I asked everybody every time we taught the class, "What do you think an entrepreneur is? This is the last class in your MBA. You're going to graduate 3 weeks from now with a master's degree. Who do you want to be, or what do you think being an entrepreneur is, and what does that look like to you?" And every single person, with very, very few exceptions, said Mark Zuckerberg. Well, we just said 278. That's just not the case. That's like winning the lottery. 1 in 278,000 are going to become a billionaire. That's not what you want.
Right.
How about we just make $1 million a month, really quietly, like we do? and like a lot of Land Academy members do.
I'll take even $1 million a year. We talked
Sure,
about that.
sure,
What do you really need to
million a year.
live on? You know what I mean? This is like realistic for me too. There's a point where you cross that line, you're like, it's not going to change your lifestyle at all. And this is some of the good stuff that we talk about within Career Path. It's kind of funny because a lot of people in Career Path are already there. They just don't know how to stop. And it's a good problem to have because we have that too.
Here's my point. If in the numbers, just everything I read support it. You have to get educated, whatever that means to you. Number one, you have to get educated to become wealthy, whatever that means. Number one. Number two, becoming a billionaire is stupid. That thought is just silly. Making a couple $1 million a month or whatever wealth means to you is very, very accomplishable and realistic. It takes a lot of work and a lot of dedication. What they didn't talk about in here, which I really think they should have, is who's sitting next to you while you're doing this, because that's a massive issue. And I don't know how you quantify that.
Thank you. I appreciate
You set yourself
that.
up with, we have a lot of people lately joining Land Academy that are couples.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's working for them.
And
in
women.
Career Path specifically, and women. Yeah.
And women on their own. I love it. We're beating these odds.
Yes. And there are many, many, many people in our group. I get a book-length email once a week thanking me for doing this. And I'm sure you do too.
I don't think you should let this discourage you. This is not meant to discourage you. This is meant to like light a little fire under you. And that's what I think this is.
Well, it's just this.
Because I don't think like that. I hope that you're like me and as you're hearing this, you're going, that's ridiculous.
Well, what I heard out of all these statistics are, if you get educated, there's a totally very, very realistic chance that you're going to become a millionaire.
Well, truth time, I don't have a bachelor's degree. I don't even have an associate's degree. I could. I have enough credits under my belt, trust me. But I'm not that odd. I'm not those people. But I read everything I get my hands on. You know what? I'm really educated in a lot of other ways. Boy, have I taken a lot of stuff. I just don't have the formal paperwork to go with it. So maybe that's part of it.
I think you've been educated for all over your life, specifically about buying and selling land for a bunch of reasons. And then once you had that basic education, you took it to some place I didn't even know it could go.
Thank you.
So, it's not negative. It's amazing to me how much the odds increase after you get educated and then apply some super hard work.
True. I agree with all of that. Happy you could join us today. 5 days a week, you can find us here on the Land Academy Show.
Tomorrow's Jill Friday. She's going to talk about why Airtable is imperative when buying and selling land. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
It's not going to be a screenshot scenario because that's way too boring. Seriously, we're not going to do that to you. So don't even think about that and don't worry. Hey, thanks for tuning in. We hope you find our content valuable and we really do appreciate your support. If you haven't already, please check out our YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button. And don't forget, because we showed you this week, also yesterday, if you are a Land Academy member and you're not on Discord, you need to be there. Check it out. If you need help getting in, just send a note to support@landacademy.com.
We are Jack and Jill. Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.
We hope you find our content valuable and we appreciate your support. If you have not already, please check out our channel and hit the subscribe button.
And your comments and suggestions help us to create the content you're here for. Hitting the like button helps to support our channel's algorithm and gauge your interest for future shows.